All right, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys can see and hear me fine. Okay, I think you should. I'm still not used to this whole YouTube live thing, but it's fun. All right, I don't have any zones marked out so far, so I'm just gonna look for supply and demand zones on NASDAQ. Something that I already see on NASDAQ is just we've gotten past this 4 hour supply zone over here. That was a pretty strong zone. We did reject it at first yesterday, and then we easily recovered, broke past that 50% line. I think this was overnight. No, in the afternoon. And then overnight kind of just consolidated. But just the fact that price is over this 50% line to me seems pretty bullish. Not saying that I'm bullish for the day, it's just something to note. All right. I don't see any 4 hour zones, but I do see this 3 hour supply zone, which the market tapped into, and we've already been rejecting. It kind of looks like we've been making lower lows. Not really, though. We haven't really seen any structure yet, but we did reject the zone, so that's good. I'm gonna see how far away we are. Okay, we're also not that far away from the zone, which to me is good because if the market pumps up when it opens, then I can look at that supply zone. This looks like a 3 hour demand zone down here. It doesn't really matter though since it's pretty far away. I mean, yeah, 200 points away. Nothing on the 2 hour. This looks like a 1 hour demand zone, which I really do like. Um, it looks like the market tapped into this over here and we rejected it. That's always good to see off of a zone. I'm pretty sure we had high impact news today. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. 7th. Yeah, we have what am I saying? We have 10 a.m. news, which I feel like we've had a lot of 10 a.m. news this week. Looks like a 90-minute demand zone, and this looks like the zone I would take shorts off from if we break past it. So if price ends up breaking this low basically or getting below 736, I think I would take shorts, but that's only if that happens. This could be a 45-minute supply zone. And then I think that's pretty much it for my zones on NASDAQ. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the zones. This looks like a 15-minute demand zone that it's tapping into right now. I don't think I'm going to take a trade off of this 15-minute zone. I rather focus on this 90-minute zone right below it. And I think that's it for NASDAQ. I mean, this looks like a small 10-minute. What's up, Anthony? I haven't tried my Tradovate. You said your Tradovate is black and you can't see nothing. My Tradovate looks normal so far. I haven't executed anything on it though, so. But it looks normal. Maybe you should try refreshing the page, which you probably already did, but I don't know if that doesn't work. Maybe try logging out, then logging back in. All right, let me look at US 30 now. Damn. Oh my god. US 30, I don't think I'm going to trade. It's literally right at all-time highs. Which is good, but like it's not good for me. Not good for me as a trader. I guess the good thing about US 30 making these big moves is that when it does pull back, I'll have good demand zones to look at. That's really the only thing, but US 30 has been on a crazy run this week. Yeah, since it's right at the top, I don't think I have any zones. Any zones close to price. I mean, this looks like a 15-minute zone, but I don't think I'll trade this. Which sucks, because lately, US 30 has been doing really, really good. It's just for me, if it goes up, I wouldn't have any way of entering into it. Yeah. Let me look at ES. I should also mark out all-time highs on NASDAQ. Actually, never mind. I thought this was all-time highs, but it's not. We're not that close to all-time highs on NASDAQ. Honestly, I don't like how ES looks. I mean, I don't trade it, but I do like to compare it to NASDAQ. I don't know about you guys, but I really didn't want to get up to trade. I don't know. I just don't feel good. I think I'm still sick. But I work from home, so it's like I really can't complain. All right, that's all my zones on Nasdaq. So I'm just gonna do support and resistance really quick. Bro, the dogs are howling. I don't know if you guys can hear them. Good morning. Hit the drawing lock button under the magnet so you don't have to go back for dropping the lines for support and resistance. It locks it out. What do you mean? Like it locks out the lines? I never even use this thing. I only use the magnet. I don't even know what it does. That's the working home effect. Yeah. It's crazy because they're quiet in the morning, and then once I start streaming, it's just, they go crazy. Bro, let me go check out what they're barking at. I'll be back. I'm back. I don't even know what they were barking at. It was a Chihuahua. He was the one starting it though. They got moment the they got quiet the moment she stood up. No, I muted myself. They got quiet once they saw me though. Let's check out this Trump tracker. Oh my god. He's gonna be live at 11. Was anyone watching Trump yesterday when he was speaking? I was watching him and I just couldn't. Like he was just tooting his horn. Like he was just it's like every single time he speaks, it's literally just him talking about how good he is every single time, and every single speech he mentions Biden and then he mentions Obama and like how bad they were. Every single speech, it's actually like kind of annoying to watch because like we get it, you know. And I bet you, whatever this press conference is about, he's gonna toot his horn. Like it doesn't even matter what the press conference is about. He's gonna talk about how good he is. Not gonna lie, you guys truly have a clown as a president. Something like that. Something like that. Like some people see him like, you know, best president ever. I mean, I'm not into politics or anything, but like in the beginning I was like, bro, like we're going bullish, like crazy markets. Let's go, Trump's president, da da da. And now it's just like, damn. I mean, I don't know. I think he was hyped up a bit too much. And I know nothing about politics, so I don't know. I think it's just his personality. To me, it's just very like narcissistic. And it's not because of the clips I've seen. It's literally because I've watched him speak a bunch of times. You know, I don't even read like the news or anything. I watch him speak at the press conferences he be doing almost every time. Almost every time I watch him. So I want to see how the market reacts. And it's just the market does shit because he doesn't talk about anything good. He just talks about himself. I think that's why it gets choppy every time he speaks. Most of the time he speaks. So yeah, if you guys are gonna be trading around 11 a.m. Eastern, um, I'd be careful because he's gonna be live doing a speech or something. Press briefing. What does it say here? Likely addressing military paired with the 2:30 p.m. closed press Oval Office. Orders potentially policy impacting on the January 6th anniversary. January 6th anniversary? Why is there an anniversary for that? I'm pretty sure January 6th is like when all the rednecks went to like the Capitol or something. I think. Yeah. Capitol insurrection. That's what they're calling it. You use Take Profit Trader. Would you ever use them? I used to Take Profit Trader a bunch, but I stopped because what would happen to me with Take Profit Trader is like I would pass their accounts, it'd be perfect. There really wouldn't be any issues with passing it. But once I got to the funded stage, it was trailing drawdown. It was intraday drawdown. So it was very hard for me to like actually get a payout. And then this one time I was able to get a payout. It was like $400. I talk about this story a lot. It was Take Profit Trader. I was able to take out like $400 payout. Because they have that daily payout rule. So you could take a payout whenever, as long as you're above the buffer. And I was able to take out $400. But I was like, now thinking about it, like, it's so stupid. But in my head, I was like, no, like, I'm going to make $600 more tomorrow, da da da. So I could get like at least $1,000. And then, of course, what happened was literally the next day, I didn't take the payout and I blew the account. And then that same week, I think it was the same day actually. But if it wasn't the same day, it was like the same weekend. Like I had to take the dog to the vet and the bill, I'm not kidding, was like $400. And I was like, damn, if I took that payout, like I could have been paid for this with the payout. But no. So it's like I always tell someone, if you could take a payout for like even $200, like and it's your first payout, right? I always say like take the payout, cuz you just never know, especially if you're not used to taking payouts. Take the payout. But yeah, after that I really didn't trade with Take Profit Trader. It's just like I failed too much at it. And you guys know how it goes. Like if you hop around with prop firms, I don't know why, but sometimes you perform better with a certain prop firm. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, once I failed too much with Take Profit Trader, I kind of just stopped trading with it. Mainly just because of the trailing drawdown. I think if I do go back to Take Profit Trader, what I would do is just get funded 5 accounts and then just gamble it on the first day. Like, I'm not even joking. I would just gamble it, try to get the daily payout. Or not even just gamble it, but just trade it heavy so I could get past that buffer, that trailing drawdown buffer. Funny enough, I do a lot better with Apex than end of day. That's interesting. I was stressing yesterday because I took a loss on these accounts, and like, I took one break even, and the break even, that trade was up like almost $300, and then it hit break even. So even though I didn't lose a trade, I lost money in the drawdown. So that sucked. That kind of added stress to me, and then I took a full loss, which, like, if it was in the end of day, like, it would be fine, right? Because the balance is basically at break even. But if you look at the drawdown, I lost, what, $800 in drawdown yesterday, even though I only lost like $500 per account. So that's the only thing with Apex. I feel like just paying attention to the drawdown like stresses me out. Now I know though, for next time, like if I'm up 1-to-1, which is gonna be around like 250, start trailing it, because it's not worth losing the drawdown. Plus, it's only gonna be like that once I get over the trailing drawdown. Does the trailing drawdown go away once you get above a certain amount? Yeah. The trailing drawdown goes away on a 50K account. It goes away after you're above 2,600. So it's the amount of the drawdown you have plus $100. Then it goes away basically to end of day drawdown. All right, we have one more minute for market to open. I'm only gonna trade Nasdaq. US 30 is right at all time highs, so yeah, I literally only have this one zone, and like that's it. I think if I was like an ICT trader, it'd be easier to trade because like the gaps would be formed right there, but I just don't trade that way, so I'm not gonna look at US 30. On Nasdaq though, the zones that I'm really paying attention to are this 90-minute demand zone right here at the bottom, and then actually no, it's not a zone, and this 30-minute supply zone up here. I have these smaller zones here. I have this 10-minute and 15-minute, but I rather focus on the ones that are above it and below it because they're just on a bigger time frame. Okay, if this 1 minute candle closes above 814, then I would take longs. We'll see how it closes though. It looks like it's rejecting it so far. Yeah, that was a nasty rejection off the zone. It's right at VWAP though, so I'm not gonna take a trade now. I don't like taking trades when it's right at VWAP. I don't know why the mic is so low. I didn't have that issue on Discord. Maybe it's just the mic. I don't know. I'm at that break even stage. I'll make 500. Then the next day, lose it. This has been going on for months. That's where risk management comes in. Like, you have to make sure. What I try to focus on is that the my winning days are bigger than the losing days, which is like not fun, right? Because if you're up $500, then the next day you're down 500. Immediately you're gonna be thinking, oh, like I want to make this back. But every time you think that, you know how it goes. You say, "Oh, I can make this back," and then you just make emotional trades. So like if you're up 500 one day and the next day you lose, try to lose 250, half of your winning day, or 500, which you've been doing. So I would just shrink it down to 250, half of it. It's retesting this 30-minute demand zone. Did anyone see that? It's like glitching. And it's rejecting it again, but it closed above this 10-minute. I'm going to take a long here and put my stop loss around 807. I like this 1 minute candle closing above 814. And then if it does pull back, I'd want to see it bounce. Damn, it didn't bounce at this white line. Could be a pullback. I would only go long again if it pushes past 822. Or if it closes back above 815. Yeah, I like longs. I'm in long again. I'm gonna put my stop at these 805. This is also my last trade. I want to see what's above this 3 hour supply zone. Yeah, once it taps 840, I think I would have to lock in profit. $842. If it does it, because recently I've taken a couple losses or a couple break evens because it doesn't continue to like the next zone. There it is. I'm gonna break even here. This is a good take profit area, not gonna lie. Oh, I'm locking profit here. Yeah, I got out of that trade. Honestly, I could have held it, but it's a good amount of profit. Yeah, I closed it out around this 50% area. I mean, it could close above it. I think if it does close above 855, it has a lot of room to go up. Honestly, I just didn't mark. I didn't chart that far away though. What am I doing? There's really nothing up here though, which is why I think it could get all the way up here. This is also just like a choppy area too, which I don't like. What time is it? Oh, 8:42. I mean, usually I would be done now, but I think what's going on in the back of my head is just like the winning day, losing day, like risk reward type thing. Like I'm only up 338 per account, and usually one of my losses is around like 250. That's the only thing wrong with this trailing drawdown. It's kind of stressful because you have to lock in profit, but at the same time you have to make sure you lock in profit where like you're managing risk properly. And to me, managing risk properly is like your winning day, losing day. Is your winning day usually bigger than your losing day? If it is, then you know, long term you should be fine. But with these accounts, it's kind of hard for me to do that. So I like to lock in profit with the trailing drawdown. Well, it's pulling back now, so it was a good area to reject. But the buyers look really strong overall. This whole week the buyers have been in control. I'm trying to look at other potential zones that the market might want to tap into. I mean, this could be a 3 hour supply zone. Yeah, I think if it breaks the highs and it stays above the highs, if the opening range breaks out pretty fast, I think it could get up here to the 900s. Definitely gotta watch out though, cause the 15-minute candle is about to close. Yeah, this 15-minute candle closed right below that 50% line. So it'll probably pull back. Unless it breaks the opening range pretty soon. Let's see. I mean, I think if it gets below 837, I think the shorts are going to come in strong. I just don't know if I should take it because it's like usually after my first winning trade, I'm done. And I'm usually done after the first winning trade because usually it's like a full 1 to 2. But in today's case, since I took the first loss, I'm really just up 1R, which is like smaller than a losing day. I don't know. I think if it gets below 837, I think the shorts could come in. But also, if it does break the highs and it stays above, longs could also come in very strong. What's US 30 doing? Let's see. Mm, I don't know. US 30 looks pretty choppy. Yeah, if it bounces here, I might take another buy. No. I mean, I think it could go higher, but I wanted to see it break the highs right there. I'm going to call it a day. I think it has a lot of potential to keep moving higher, but I'm going to stick to my trading plan, which is usually after the first win, calling it a day. Like, the only reason why I do want to take another trade is for more money. You know, my A plus setup basically already happened. That was the A plus setup right there. Another thing is it's Wednesday, and Wednesday Not gonna lie, Wednesdays are my least profitable day. Like, I always get shit on Wednesdays. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I do want to take another long. Yeah, I love this retest here. I do like the longs. But I'm gonna call it a day. I really don't want to, just because this losing day is like nothing crazy, and it's also smaller than my usual losing day, you know? For example, if I take a loss tomorrow, that's the loss. If I take a loss tomorrow, it's gonna be most of this profitable day. But I'm considering all the other things besides money. Like, it's Wednesday, my least profitable day. My plus setup kind of already happened. So yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day. It's also what, 850, or sorry, 950. Usually kind of the market kind of slows down to me. To me, it kind of slows down after the first 15 minutes. Maybe not recently, but it does happen a lot. I took a loser on gold on a buy and made it all back on Nasdaq. But stepping away from the day, yeah. I'm gonna step away too. I was gonna do something on stream and I totally forgot. Probably journal. Let me journal really quick. One loss, one pretty big win. Someone asked, can anyone comment as to when a supply or a demand zone become irrelevant? I would say a supply and demand zone become irrelevant when, for example, let's just say this was a zone up here, right? If this was a supply or demand zone, to me it becomes irrelevant when something like this happens, right? Like when nothing's happening at the zone, or when something previously did happen at a zone, but then something like this happened, you know? Once it gets like chopped on or like disrespected or something, that's when I don't like the zone, or it becomes irrelevant. And that's also a huge reason why I do my charts, or why I do the analysis every morning. It's just because I want to make sure the zones I have marked down are like brand new zones. All right, let me screenshot this. 1 minute time frame. Hey, babe. Okay, first trade. First trade, I took longs because there was a 1 minute candle close above this 30-minute 50% line. There was a 1 minute candle close above a 30-minute supply zone. Also, on that first trade, I think what I could have done better was wait for a retest. But my thinking was that since it was, what is it, 9:34, I was just thinking, okay, like if I don't take the long now without the retest, I might miss the longs. But now that I look at this, a retest did happen after this loss here. It just happened on this other zone right here. That's how I see it. Is just I didn't wait for a retest. Like if I waited on this first trade, that entry technically could have been like right here, the first entry. Cuz then from there that would have been me seeing the retest right here on this other zone and then it breaking structure to the upside again. But what happened was on the second trade, I saw the retest over here and then immediately breaking structure to the upside. So I just took the longs again. Got stopped on the first trade because there was a retest happening. After the retest happened, then I saw longs breaking structure and getting back above 50%. And then on this trade, I got out around this area here. Damn, and then just look at the market slowing down. I mean, at least on the 1 minute time frame, it slowed down a bunch. So I'm glad I didn't take that second trade that I wanted to. I miss it. What trades did you take? I just took longs on NASDAQ. I took one loss over here. Then once I saw it retesting this area and coming back up, I took the long again. And then I was thinking about taking the longs again up here, but I decided not to since the first 15 minutes were already up. Usually I already take a winning trade the first 15 minutes. So I just decided not to take a third trade because I only wanted to take the third trade only for money. Usually when I think that, I promise you, like, it's crazy. Every time I take like an extra trade because I want to make like a bit extra money, it's usually not the best trade. So I just kept that in mind and I decided not to take it. Is another reason I didn't take the third trade was just because it's Wednesday and like usually weird shit happens on Wednesday, which makes me lose a lot on Wednesdays, so that's why I also called it a day. But yeah, I already journaled. I already took a couple trades. Usually I'm done by 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. now. I got nothing else to do trading wise. I do want to come back on stream and like hang out and just talk about trading. But I think I'll do that either later today or like later in the week. I want to do like reaction videos reacting to certain trading videos. Because I feel like with the trading industry, like sometimes there's a lot of drama, and I think it's really entertaining, you know. So I kind of want to make content about it. But that was it for me, guys. If you're gonna keep trading, I would watch out because it kind of looks like the volume slowed down. And I would also watch out for 11 a.m. Eastern because Trump is gonna be speaking. He's gonna do a press briefing around 11 a.m. So yeah, trade safe, trade smart, and don't be on the charts all day. Don't be on the charts too much. To take your trade and remember you're trading for freedom. You're not trading for just money.